My best friend gifted me an orange tabby in the middle of the night. The cat actually looked at me, shook its head, and let out a heavy sigh. She looks pretty, but how can someone be so clueless? Her best friend and boyfriend are literally stabbing her in the back. And she has no idea? I thought my ears were playing tricks on me. I was just pulling my resignation letter out of my drawer, planning to quit my job with my best friend and go travel. He's busy resigning while Vivian is busy plotting to steal her promotion and become the general manager. Honestly, her boyfriend's scheme is absolutely toxic. What a shame. The other neighborhood cat said, this company is about to secure a $10 billion funding round. The future is gold. The cat's inner voice echoed in my head. My pen froze. I ripped the resignation letter to shreds. I barely threw the scraps into the trash before my best friend. Vivian texted me, hey Naomi, let's set our final day for next Monday. She even attached a photo of her own signed resignation form. Right after, my boyfriend Greg texted, did you fill out the resignation form yet? I stared at the screen, my mind blank. I couldn't wrap my head around the betrayal. We grew up together. Vivian had always followed me around like a shadow. I treated her like a real sister. When she couldn't find a job, I brought her into my firm, mentored her step by step, and even handed her my own clients. She used to shower me with public thank yous. And Greg, he had been shouting that he'd marry me since we were kids. He confessed his feelings when we were 18, and we've been together ever since, nearly 7 years. That designer bag Greg got her for her birthday, it's actually Vivian's hand-me-down. There's a mark on the inside. He's been infatuated with Vivian since childhood. The orange cat's inner voice sounded again. I rushed to the closet, pulled out the leather purse, and inspected it under the light. Sure enough, etched into the bottom lining were 3 faint scratched letters, VW. Her initials. In that instant, the last thread of hope snapped. The love and friendship I had cherished so deeply were nothing but hollow, cheap illusions. But hey, there's a $3 million lottery ticket hidden inside that bag. Serial number. I whipped my head around. The orange cat hopped onto the windowsill, licked its paw, and muttered to itself, the big white person at the pet shop said. The brand is running a serial number sweepstakes. The winning number matches this exact bag. Greg didn't leave his phone number at the store. There are only 3 days left to claim it. I scrolled frantically through my chat history with Greg and found the address of the boutique. I'd claim it right after work. Tomorrow. Previously, Greg had suggested I pay the $1 million down payment on a house, and he'd handle the monthly mortgage. Now I didn't need him. I could buy the whole damn place in cash. Suddenly my phone buzzed. Greg's contact photo lit up. Hey Naomi, you asleep? Why aren't you replying to me? And Viv, did you finish the resignation letter? Viv says, Hawaii is incredible. I already booked the tickets for next week. You can't back out now. Everything was always about Vivian. He used to explain it away by saying, we're a couple, Naomi. Viv is all on her own. We should look out for her and let her have her way. Sometimes I had trusted them blindly. I just finished it. I was in the shower. I lied smoothly. Awesome. We're finally going to make our childhood dream of traveling the world come true, he chuckled. Get some sleep. Love you forever, babe. His voice was as sweet and gentle as ever, like he was soothing a child. In the past, those late-night sweet nothings would have warmed my heart. Now they made bile rise in my throat. From this moment on, I wouldn't waste a single second of my life on decayed love or rotten friendship. Next morning, I arrived at the office parking lot half an hour early. As soon as I parked, I spotted 2 familiar figures. Greg was leaning down, kissing Vivian's forehead. You worked hard last night. Beautiful, he murmured, his voice dripping with affection. Oh, please. I work hard every night. Vivian giggled, swatting his chest. You're like a wild animal, always trying to devour me. My hands clenched the steering wheel so hard my knuckles turned white. They were sleeping together every single night, by the way. Vivian asked, leaning against him, is it really okay to trick Naomi into quitting? Hey, it's a dog-eat-dog world, Greg smirked, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. Besides, Naomi is tough. She'll find another job in no time. She's too sentimental to hold a grudge against you. Anyway, once we get married, I'll use her money to pamper you. Chills ran down my spine. This was the man who promised to love me forever. He was more venomous than a viper. Thank God for my telepathic tabby. It wasn't too late. I didn't storm out to confront them. Instead, I quietly recorded a video on my phone, waited in my car for another 10 minutes, and then headed up to the office. Naomi Vivian was waiting right by my desk, a beaming smile on her face. She grabbed my arm. Let's go hand in our resignations to the boss.
I didn't resist.
I was going to play my part in this little theater. At Mr. Henderson's office door, Vivian slapped her forehead. Oh, shoot, Naomi. I think I left my resignation letter at my desk. Go on in first. I'll go grab it. Sure, I said with a nod. As I walked in, I heard her let out a quiet sigh of relief. She thought her little trap had sprung perfectly. Mr. Henderson welcomed me warmly. I heard a rumor you were thinking of leaving us. Naomi, don't tell me this is a resignation letter. So Vivian had already started spreading rumors to pave her way to the top. Of course not, I replied, shaking my head. I handed him a sleek leather folder. Inside was not a resignation, but a groundbreaking marketing proposal for our upcoming product launch. Mr. Henderson read through it, nodding with growing enthusiasm. This is brilliant, Naomi. Absolutely brilliant. Run with it all. Also, the marketing director position has been vacant. The board just finalized the decision to promote you. The official announcement goes out next Monday. If this campaign blows up, the final executive VP slot is yours, along with company shares. Thank you, Mr. Henderson. I won't let you down, I said, my heart racing. Leaving his office, I felt a wave of adrenaline mixed with sheer relief. If it weren't for my cat, I would have thrown my career down the drain. Vivian and Greg would have laughed behind my back while stepping all over me. I returned to my office. Vivian used the excuse of delivering files to slip inside. So, Naomi, what did Mr. Henderson say? Not much, I said, keeping my face neutral.
Wow.
He didn't even try to keep you, Vivian pouted. But her eyes danced with triumph. I let her enjoy her little fantasy. That evening, Greg was waiting in the parking lot. Vivian naturally slid into the passenger seat, casually resting her legs on the dashboard, showing off her thighs without a care in the world. In the past, I thought it was just childhood friend comfort. I noticed Greg's eyes constantly darting to her legs with pure lust. Naomi, Greg smiled, turning back to me. Bib says there's a new hot pot place down the street.
I sent you the address.
Let's go. You guys go ahead. I have things to do, I replied coldly. Greg blinked, surprised. Come on, whatever it is can wait. Dinner with Bib is a priority. If you don't come, you're not a real friend, Vivian whined. In the past, I would have given in. Now it just felt like cheap emotional blackmail. No thanks. Family emergency. I didn't care about their reactions. I got into my car and drove straight to the luxury boutique. Hello. Could you please check if the serial number has won the sweepstakes? The clerk took the bag, ran the number, and beamed. Congratulations, ma'am. You've won the grand prize of $3 million.
Please step this way.
In less than a minute, the paperwork was done. A text notification buzzed on my phone. $2.7 million had cleared into my account after taxes. When the store would display a promotional banner next week, I knew Greg and Vivian would find out soon. I immediately called a real estate agent and bought the luxury riverfront penthouse I've been eyeing for months. Paid in full. After securing the deed, I went home and sat down with my parents. When they heard about the betrayal, they were shocked but stood firmly by my side, urging me to handle it my way. Just as we finished dinner, my phone buzzed. Greg and Vivian had added me to a group chat. Vivian sent a playful voice note. Naomi, since you ditched us for dinner, you're paying the bill. Greg followed up immediately. It's not much, just $3,888. Just Venmo it to me. Normally, I would have paid to keep the peace. This time I ignored it and went to take a shower. By the time I got out, the group chat had over 99 unread messages. Vivian, Naomi, why aren't you answering? Greg, it's been 10 minutes. The waiter is waiting. Vivian, wow, I guess our friendship doesn't mean much to you anymore. Greg, seriously, Naomi, you're being so petty. Whatever, we'll pay it ourselves. Only then did I reply, just got out of the shower. Nobody replied. In the past, I would have sent them each a $1,000 digital red envelope to make up for it.
What an idiot I had been.
I gave my cat some freeze-dried treats and sat down at my laptop. I needed to perfect the marketing plan for Monday's pitch. The orange cat hopped onto the desk, staring at the screen. The office cats say the big boss loves pets but tries to act all tough and professional. He's been wishing someone would pitch a pet-themed marketing campaign. A spark of inspiration hit me. I immediately rewrote the strategy, weaving in a brilliant pet-friendly angle. I worked through the night. Just as dawn broke, Greg called. Naomi, you were way out of line yesterday. ditching the bill like that really hurt Viv. She actually cried. I heard she wanted a designer necklace at the mall. Why don't you buy it for her to make peace? I almost laughed out loud. He really was taking the spend Naomi's money to pamper Vivian role to heart. It's for the sake of our group, Greg, he continued. Just pay for it. Viv will be happy, and I won't be mad at you anymore. If I were still blind, I would have felt guilty, but now I just felt disgust. I worked all night, and I'm exhausted, I said flatly. Go check it out yourself. Great, Greg chirped, assuming I was agreeing to pay, and hung up. Vivian immediately texted. Naomi, you're the absolute best. I'm not mad at you anymore. Love you. XOXO. I ignored it and fell asleep. When I woke up in the evening, my screen was filled with more texts. Vivian, I found a better one. It's $188,000. Buy this one for me instead. Greg, since you didn't say no, we'll assume it's a yes. Viv, put it on an installment plan.
You can just go pay it off next week.
Vivian. No interest if paid within a month. Don't forget Naomi. She even posted a photo of the necklace on her Instagram, naturally omitting who paid for it. The comments were flooded with jealousy. When someone asked if she got a massive raise, it's nothing major, Greg commented. My girl is the best.
Cheek of it.
I only wore a $1,000 necklace, and Vivian casually swiped my imaginary credit card for a $188,000 piece. But I didn't say a word. I wanted to see how Vivian, who lived paycheck to paycheck, would handle the bill when I refused to pay. Monday morning arrived. Vivian walked into the office, wearing the glittering $188,000 diamond necklace. She deliberately raised her voice, so everyone could hear. Naomi, do you like it? It's beautiful. I smiled. The other colleagues crowded around. Oh my God, Vivian. How much was that? Just $188,000. Vivian smirked, secretly squeezing my hand, signaling me to keep quiet and play along.
Wow.
$188,000. Vivian, I had no idea you were so loaded. I wish I had your talent. Naomi, look at your friend and look at you. She's really outshining you now.
Exactly.
Naomi brought her into the company, but Vivian is the one wearing a house on her neck. Naomi has nothing. They gossiped and compared us. Vivian didn't defend me. She just bathed in the praise. I simply smiled. All right, quiet down, everyone. Mr. Henderson walked into the department. I am here to announce the new marketing director. Vivian's grin widened, her eyes gleaming with anticipation. She was practically vibrating. The colleagues all looked at her, expecting her name to be called. Since the rumor of my resignation was widespread, Mr. Henderson turned to me. Effective today, Naomi Stone is our new marketing director. Vivian's smile instantly shattered. She whipped her head toward me, her eyes wide with absolute shock. Naomi Stone is our new marketing director. The room went silent. For a few seconds, nobody moved. Then the applause started. At first it was polite. A few coworkers clapped because they had to. But when Mr. Henderson continued talking about my proposal, the funding opportunity, and how the board had personally praised my work, the applause became louder. Vivian didn't clap. She just stood there, frozen. Her fingers instinctively went to the diamond necklace around her neck. The necklace she thought was proof that she had won. The necklace that was about to become her biggest humiliation. Naomi, Vivian whispered after the meeting ended. Her smile was so forced it looked painful. You didn't resign? I looked at her calmly.
No.
Her expression cracked. But you said. I said a lot of things. I leaned closer, lowering my voice. Mostly things you wanted to hear. Her face paled. For the first time, Vivian looked nervous. Not guilty. Nervous. Because she was finally realizing I wasn't the same Naomi who would apologize for existing. Why would you do this? She whispered. We're best friends. I almost laughed. Are we? Her lips parted. You spent weeks convincing me to quit my job. You convinced Greg to push me away from my own career. You planned to take my position. I don't know what you're talking about. The denial came too quickly. Too smoothly. Luckily, I had learned something important. People who lie confidently usually forget one thing. Evidence exists. I pulled out my phone. Vivian's face changed when she saw the screen. A video. The parking lot. Her and Greg. Every word. Every disgusting little plan. The color drained from her face. Where did you get that? I tilted my head. Does it matter? Her hands trembled. You recorded us? No. I smiled. My cat helped. She stared at me. What? I shrugged. Long story. At that moment, my orange tabby walked past my office door, tail held high.
He stopped.
Looked directly at Vivian. Then yawned. Clueless human. Finally exposed. I almost smiled. Even a cat had more emotional intelligence than my ex-best friend. Meanwhile, across the office, Greg was celebrating too early. He was already telling people about Vivian becoming the next marketing director. I always knew she had executive potential, he bragged. Then Mr. Henderson walked past. Greg. Greg immediately straightened. Yes, sir? I heard you have been spreading misinformation about company decisions. His smile disappeared. What? Mr. Henderson's expression hardened. Rumors about Naomi's resignation. Rumors about internal promotions. Attempting to manipulate workplace relationships for personal gain. Greg went quiet, because he knew the company took reputation seriously, especially with a major funding round coming. You should be careful, Mr. Henderson said coldly. A person who betrays a colleague once can betray a company too. Greg's confidence vanished. That evening, I went home and opened my laptop. I didn't need revenge. I didn't need to scream. I didn't need to destroy them. Their own choices were already doing that. But I did make one call.
To the boutique.
Hello, I'd like to cancel the payment arrangement connected to the diamond necklace. The employee paused. Payment arrangement?
Yes.
The necklace was purchased under my name without authorization. There was silence. Understood, Ms. Stone. We'll begin the investigation immediately. I smiled. Vivian had worn that necklace all day. She had shown it off. She had let everyone believe she bought it herself. Now, everyone would learn the truth. The next morning, Vivian arrived at work looking exhausted. No makeup could hide the panic in her eyes. The moment she entered the office, her phone rang. She answered. Hello. Her face slowly turned white. What do you mean the payment failed? A few coworkers looked over. Vivian lowered her voice. But Naomi was supposed to. She stopped. Because she realized everyone was listening, including me. She turned around. Our eyes met. For once, I didn't see my childhood best friend. I saw someone who had spent years treating my kindness like a weakness. Naomi, she said desperately, walking toward me. We need to talk. I continued typing.
No.
She froze. You don't understand. No, Vivian. I looked up. I understand perfectly. Her eyes filled with anger. You think you're better than me now? I smiled slightly.
No.
I closed my laptop. I think I'm finally treating myself as someone worth protecting. That sentence hit harder than any insult. Because deep down, Vivian knew. She hadn't lost because I defeated her. She lost because she underestimated the person she had spent years using. Then Greg appeared. Naomi. His voice was angry. Not loving. Not gentle. Angry. You embarrassed Vivian. I stared at him. Interesting. What? I thought you loved her. Greg froze. Vivian slowly turned toward him. And for the first time, she looked suspicious. You told me she didn't know. Greg's face changed. Viv, wait. You said Naomi was too stupid to notice. The entire hallway went silent. Greg realized his mistake. Too late. Vivian covered her mouth. Because she finally understood something. Greg didn't choose her because she was special. He chose her because he thought she was easier to control. And now she was discovering the same thing I had. We were both just pieces on his chessboard. Except, I had already walked off the board. The orange tabby sitting on my office chair flicked his tail. Finally, the annoying humans are figuring it out. I laughed. For the first time in weeks, I actually laughed. Because my life wasn't ending. It was beginning. And this time,